What's up guys, SkittleRampage here. So it is finally time for the top 10 best anime Funko Pops of 2023. So let's check it out. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I do hope you're having a wonderful day today. So you guys have been asking me for the last 2 months, am I going to be doing a top 10 best anime of 2023 for Funko Pops? And yes, I am. I am finally done with the list. I can confidently say I probably spent like 24 hours on this video over the course of the last 4 or 5 days. When I tell you guys that Funko released so much anime last year, it's not even funny. I have another video coming up where I want to rank every single exclusive for 2023, and in that file alone, there was like 130 plus exclusives, and that wasn't even all of them. That was just exclusives, not including all of the commons we got. So they easily dropped like 300 plus anime pops last year. Now, if you're wondering where I pulled the data from for this top 10 list, I actually asked you guys over on Instagram and my community tab. I put all kinds of combinations up and you guys were voting like crazy. So thank you so much to everybody who did vote and participate in that. I do think some of you guys were still being biased towards your favorite character, but it's okay. And I do want to thank Bailey for being such a big help. She actually contributed a lot to this list. Before we get started in the top 10 list, I do want to ask you guys the question of the day, which is, what are your top 10 favorite anime Funko Pops from 2023? Let me know in the comments below. Alrighty, so as usual, I like to start this off with honorable mentions, but first, I do actually want to mention some things that did not make the cut because they didn't technically release in 2023. And that did include Hidan with his chase, Marco the Phoenix, and Sogeking there. So funny enough, Marco actually is dropping Monday. I'm like, really? A week. He missed the cutoff time by a week. So yes, those 3 pops will not be featured in this video at all due to the fact that they didn't release until this year. Now, other things that I am discluding and disqualifying from this video this year are 10-inch pops, 6-inch pops, deluxes, pop rides, anything of that manner. Also wanted posters. And I don't think I've ever done this in past years where I've disqualified these style pops, but this year I did want to kind of change it up and limit it to 4-inch pops. So that means no Baryon mode, no Kaido, no Big Mom, no Nezuko. It is going to be strictly 4-inch pops. However, I will be putting together a top 10 list for all of those anime deluxe, pop rides, wanted posters, etc. So I am sorry if that disappoints anybody. I'm just trying to make as fair of a list as possible. Now for our honorable mentions, this is probably going to really surprise you. First up, for Boruto, we do have Momoshiki and Boroshiki, which did have a glow chase there. So not only were these molds phenomenal, Funko did a great job designing them. I will say with Momoshiki, there's a lot more they could have done with Momoshiki. Not knocking the mold at all, I just think it's pretty simple for the character. But it's one of those situations where it's simple but elegant, but not enough to make it in the top 10. And the same thing goes with Boroshiki. I would honestly probably give it to Boroshiki out of the 2 though in terms of detail just because of the Rasengan alone. That detail is immaculate. Moving on to more honorable mentions in the Naruto-verse, again, these might surprise you. We do have the Amaterasu Sasuke there, the Glow Funko Shop exclusive. So this one was actually kicked out due to the fact that they didn't make the purple glow and only the eyes glow. So it kind of just ruined the mold for a lot of people. And another one we did have was Naruto KLM. While this mold is fantastic, the glow is amazing on it, there were just so many other different pops that were doing so much more in their molds or had extra detail that kind of just bumped them up higher. Another one would be Jiraiya Sage Mode here. So me and Bailey actually went back and forth about Jiraiya specifically for a while. It's a great pop, but it's just not enough. And the last one from Naruto did include Madara Uchiha here, but it's just Madara Uchiha standing there with a weapon. At the end of the day, it's no action pose. It's exactly what the character looks like. So they nailed it there, but there's not much more happening there. Next up, we did have Black Clover here. So this did include the Noelle Diamond Collection exclusive in her Valkyrie armor, as well as Nozel Silva there, the GameStop exclusive. So the Valkyrie armor, oh, that was tough because I personally wanted it to be in the top 10. It's a great mold. Love how she looks in it. But there were some better Black Clover exclusives, that's all I'll say.
So guys, next up is One Piece, and I actually decided that I wanted to change these up. So the honorable mentions for One Piece do include Carrot with her chase, as well as Zoro Inma. So Zoro didn't make the cut just because his purple glow isn't all that great, and it's actually really hard to charge it. And for Carrot, she's all around just a fantastic mold, so I definitely wanted to mention her.
The final honorable mentions do include Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins, phenomenal mold with his weapon in hand as well as the cruel sun in his hand. And for Jujutsu Kaisen, probably the best one they released out of all the molds was Toto here, the Child's Collectibles exclusive, and it did have a glow chase there. So again, nothing just overwhelming for Jujutsu Kaisen this year. They got a lot of cool characters, a couple cool pops, but nothing that just screamed top 10, unfortunately. So those were the honorable mentions. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree or disagree? And let me know why. Alrighty, so here's where we get into the fun part. At number 10, Soba Mask Sanji here. This mold is just excellent. I love the flame kick up. I love the curly eye detail. The hair looks really great. The mask detail is really nice. And the outfit he's wearing is also very detailed. The cape kind of flying up because he's in the kicking action pose. A lot of it also is the kicking action pose. It just makes the pop here. And this would have been a perfect glow chase situation versus what they did with that translucent, invisible, terrible chase. At the number 9 spot, actually beating the Noelle Valkyrie exclusive, was Asta the Comet here. Black Asta just turned out so excellent. So excellent. The sword is amazing. The red grimoire is really awesome. The red eye is really great. And just overall, the mold is excellent. Noelle's Valkyrie armor is also really excellent, but this one beat it. And I actually ran a last minute poll, and you guys seem to agree. At the number 8 spot, this one might kind of surprise you that it's a little lower, and that is the Todoroki Volcano X exclusive glow. And this is where he's using ice and flames at the same time. This mold is just overwhelming in detail, especially the glow. It's outstanding. They did a great job on it. And what made it get on the list specifically, and Bailey kind of made this note, was the fact that it has so much detail. As I said, overwhelming. There's a lot of flames, there's a lot of ice, and it's easily the best Todoroki mold we have to date. And this is one of those pops where even if it wasn't glowing in the dark, it's still a great mold. At the number 7 spot, we do have Obanai, the Funko Shop exclusive from Demon Slayer. So, I don't think this one needs much explanation. The different colored eyes is great. The snake around his neck is awesome, as well as the lounging on the tree branch. The tree branch alone just adds so much detail, and it literally shows that it was plucked right out of the anime. At the number 6 spot, probably the best Black Clover exclusive to come out of 2023 was Yuno here. So Yuno, Spirit of Zephyr, the glow-in-the-dark previews exclusive. This pop is just crazy all around. You do have the green gradient going up and down his body in the back, mixing in with the black hair, making a full green side. It's great. They did a really great job on it, and you don't see that in too many Funko Pops. And Bailey was a huge advocate for this pop being on the list. She was very appreciative of how well Funko designed this one. Because not only does he have the gradient, he does have the crown around his hair, he does have his grimoire, as well as the sword in his hand. And on top of that, it's a great glow exclusive. Plus, I don't think I really have to explain that Black Clover was probably top 3 in anime last year of some of the greatest molds Funko produced. At the number 5 spot, beating Yuno, surprisingly, was the Tanjiro Kamado AAA Anime exclusive. So this was all around just a great surprise of an exclusive, and it ended up working out so well. If you don't own this pop, I do highly recommend it. It is just one of the shining pieces in terms of overall detail. You look at this pop and you just see detail everywhere. I honestly don't even know where to start with this one. Probably one of my favorite Demon Slayer exclusives they put out. And when you look at the Demon Slayer line, there are a lot of great exclusives, but there's very few because they've filled the collection with so many repeat variations and so much unnecessary stuff. So it was nice to see Tanjiro's dad. It's just not something anybody was expecting. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we do have Snake Man Luffy, the Funko Shop exclusive. What differs with this one is that it does have a metallic finish to it, which does actually work with it. And here's kind of like a better look at it in person here. Focus it for you guys. All around, what they did with this pop and making him stretch all around his body and including the smoke or steam, coming off his body, it was just, as Bailey kind of described it, a risk to do. Because this very easily could have just fell apart, broken apart easily. And it's funny enough, the first time they've ever incorporated Luffy stretching into a Funko Pop. So I think it's fair to be pretty appreciative of how much detail and thought they actually put into this mold. At the number 3 spot, we do have Eustace Kid. So, this might not come as a surprise to some people, it might come as a surprise to people. I myself am a little surprised that Bailey got me to agree to put this so high up on the list compared to a few of these. She actually had to go over every single inch of this pop with me to convince me that it deserved to be in the top 3. And here's why. So when you're looking at Eustace Kid, he does actually have a tremendous amount of detail. Not only did they include his smile, because you know he's a big laugher, you do have the markings on his face, or scars, excuse me, the goggles, the nice hair that's very layered. They also added the coat over the shoulders, very similar to Kaido's detail as well, which is one of my favorite details on him. But I think the most important thing to mention with Eustace Kid here is that they put so much color and detail on his fist there, and they just kind of made it more colorful and spruced it up more. Just adding those little details is just so awesome of them to do. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Buggy the Clown. So I don't think I really need to go too in depth as to why this is in the top 3 and at the number 2 spot. He has so much detail, it's insane. And the fact that they utilized his Chop Chop fruit, when they didn't have to, mind you, we have plenty of One Piece pops where they're not using their devil fruits, and they look great. They managed to capture the essence of Buggy in pop form, looking sadistic, looking fun, and all around very colorful as well. I also really love that they gave him his mouth because he's always laughing or always has something to say. It's Buggy after all. And this now brings us to the number 1 Funko Pop of 2023, widely voted by a landslide, Shinobu from Demon Slayer, the Funko Shop exclusive. So she literally just won by a landslide. It really didn't matter how many people I asked. The majority was always her. And I do have to agree with a lot of people that she has a tremendous amount of detail, especially with the butterfly on the back of her head. Then you have the butterfly-filled base stand. Though, I'm gonna say a little bit of a hot take here. If she didn't have the base stand, she would not be as high on this list and she would not have won. I can confidently say that, especially compared to some of the other pops on this list. But she did win. She's a beautiful pop. Funko did a great job on her sculpt. So congratulations, Demon Slayer fans, for winning 2023. So that was the top 10 anime Funko Pops of 2023. Feel free to let me know in the comments below if you did agree or disagree. As I stated before, 2023 was a tough year. And it's looking like so far that 2024 is definitely going to be a tough year as well. I do want to thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that like button down below if you did enjoy, and subscribe and click that notification bell if you're new here. I am going to go ahead and end off this video by saying a big shout out to all the wonderful Patreon supporters of the channel. You guys are amazing for supporting myself and the channel. If you guys are interested and want to check out the Patreon, the link is down below. We have a Patreon-only Discord where we share a lot of information, news, restocks, updates, links, and more. And lastly, make sure to be following me on all my social medias at SkittleRampage over on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page, so you can stay up to date. All right, love you guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Bye.